welcome back to Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda, giving you all the latest updates on anything and all things Ravens. Please make sure to keep subscribing to the channel and liking the videos. Let's dive into the latest Ravens news I have for you today. Harbaugh gave us some injury updates yesterday in terms of who is coming back and who is currently going on the injury list. Lamar Jackson came back to practice like everyone predicted. He was at the preseason game. No limp, no nothing, no hand wrap, just precautionary thing. I still don't get why the Ravens went with the foot thing, but when he was holding his wrist out, or maybe he was just flexing it, kind of I don't know. But either way, Lamar Jackson was back at practice. Harbaugh did talk about Jair Alexander a little bit, saying that Alexander will most likely be back next week. He's pushing for return to practice, and there will be enough time for him to get ready for week one. Okay, I mean, we'll see. I think that he'll definitely play week one. He was seen working out on another field, separate from the team practice. So again, I'm not really. This is the risk that the Ravens made with Jair Alexander, with his past, injury history and all that, but minus that, he is one of the better corners, one of the best corners in the league. So Ravens are putting some faith in Alexander, and as we should, they're making sure that all the boxes are checked in terms of recovery and making sure that he doesn't suffer any long-term injuries as a Raven. And we want to see him get back to the prime form that he had been in 2022. Also, that wide receiver Xavier Guillory broke his clavicle, and wide receiver Dayton Wade had surgery on his ribs. Both of them were hurt in Saturday's games against the Commanders. Not really sure what that does for the roster, but it could be waived and then sent down to the practice squad. We'll have to wait and see on that. Mark Andrews and Chidobe Awuzie were not on the on the practice field in the team practice, but they were going through a workout on a side field. Patrick Ricard, who has not been at practice for a little bit, was on the sideline watching. So again, guys are there. They're just going through some recovery, motives here, just to make sure that Ravens are ready come week one. And we are 100% healthy come week one, because that's a matchup against the Bills that we need to win. We need to make a statement to the league that the Ravens are back and we are the team to be feared. And by the way that our defense has been looking, and mind you, again, all rookies and free agency pickups, defense looks scary. But the Ravens want their entire team, starters and all, to be ready for that week one matchup, to show the NFL what team that needs to be feared the most this time. So we'll probably see all these guys come back way before the week one matchup. The one that I'm not really worried about, but I'm a little bit concerned about is Isaiah Likely, who has suffered a fracture about a month ago. Haven't seen him come back, so having him back sooner rather than later would be great for his status for that week one matchup. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. I don't want to rush him back, but at the same time, I do want to see some type of progress on that, and be able to get a better understanding on if he's going to be able to make that return come week one. So moving on here, so a little bit of a contract rumor here for you. So Tyler Linderbaum's, at least according to rumors, his agent has been steadfast on a contract of $20 million per year for Tyler Linderbaum. If these rumors are true, And by the way, rumors are rumors. We are addressing this because, again, we must address all things that happen. But if this is true, we are probably not going to see Jair or not. Tyler Linderbaum put on a Ravens uniform again. I don't. After this season, of course, after his rookie contract expires, I don't think Eric DaCosta is going to invest $20 million per year in an offensive lineman. Obviously, the Ronnie Stanley has a contract of that similar magnitude, but there are a lot of other players that need contracts, and Tyler Linderbaum. I'm sorry to put this as bluntly as possible. He is not the priority, in my opinion. Getting Kyle Hamilton's contract signed and Isaiah Likely's contract signed, and we have to, not to mention, we have to worry about Lamar's contract extension, and worry about what the Ravens are going to do with Mark Andrews after this season. So, if this rumor is true, I don't think that the Ravens are going to keep Tyler Linderbaum after this season, after his rookie contract expires. But again, rumors, rumors. Obviously, Eric DaCosta is a master when it comes to contract extensions, so we'll have to wait and see. If this isn't true and Tyler Linderbaum stays, I would love that. Lindy is one of the best centers in the league, Pro Bowler. Would love for him to be a Raven for life, but if this rumor is true, don't see him coming back as a Raven, unless Eric DaCosta works some really, really good magic. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see on the status of that. Moving on to so Ravens have already started making some roster cuts, as they have to, because today at 4 p.m. they need to have their roster cut down to 53. So already they cut offensive lineman Reed Halsky, corner MJ Devonshire, and tight end Bailey Cupp. It got the Ravens down to 86 on the roster. Some of these players will be IR/waive injured moves, like Dayton Wade and Guillory will be those one among them. William Kwenku will be among those, and Adiza Isaac will be injury reserved bound. So a lot of question marks on who makes the roster and who doesn't. I've made my piece on who makes the roster because I do think that David Ajabo does make the 53-man roster. A lot of rookies have made their case about making the 53-man roster as well. So it's just going to be kind of interesting to see who makes it, or who gets waived and puts down the practice squad, or who gets waived and isn't going to be on this Ravens team. Also, on a side note, Harbaugh did say that Jake Hummel will be on the 53-man roster, but he just has a minor hand procedure. He will return to practice later on. So Jake Hummel's status on the roster is pretty much secure. Again, a lot of question marks that need to be, addressed. A lot of sacrifices that are going to be needed, and we need to know what the status of Ben Cleveland, what the Ravens are going to do with him. Because if the Ravens go with a 5-6 linebackers, they might have to cut Ben Cleveland. I don't think that they're going to do that. But again, it's just something that we have to look out for. It's hard to see some really talented players that really did make their case for the roster, but we gotta do what we gotta do here. So looking for what player can best be a part of this team, that's what we gotta do. But hopefully anyone that is cut finds a team somewhere else. Lastly here, so some of the comments on the last video, I I'd like to address here. So someone said, so think about the move either way. You give up first round picks. Also, you cannot afford to resign your players back, so it's a big loss. You have, so yeah, that is true. This is regarding the Micah Parsons trade thing. So again, it's a Herculean trade. That's what the Cowboys are looking for. If we sign, I agree. If we sign Micah Parsons, there's no way that we're going to be able to get players re-signed. We might have to make some legitimate sacrifices for one player. I didn't think about that. We would have to think about contracts and everything else. Mind you, it would be amazing if the Ravens were able to do this and keep all their players. Obviously, that would never happen, but it would probably be a lot more sacrifice than gain. Kyle Hamilton would probably be among those guys, and Isaiah Likely, probably Tyler Linderbaum as well. All the guys that the Ravens are prioritizing for Micah Parsons. Mind you, that's nothing against Micah Parsons. He's a phenomenal player, but I do also agree that it's way too much loss for the game. It's just that we have developed these players that have said so well, and they're stars in their own making, and they are a huge part of this Ravens team. That to just not be able to keep them or keep most of them for Micah Parsons, it just doesn't look good. Mind you, again, I've said it before, it'll be great if the Ravens were able to get Parsons, but now thinking about the amount of, what we'd have to lose, I don't think it's a good idea anymore. But thank you for tuning into Ravens Today. I'm your host, Connor Gioffreda. Again, make sure to subscribe to the channel, like the video. I will catch you all later.